Hello?
Yes, Stephen, go ahead.
Really, I would want to say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to make a comment and also ask questions. I've listened to the presentation of, I joined when Professor, just to be sure with my, I'm calling, one moment please. I joined when Professor Jeku Ebuchukwu was making his presentation, and also when Josie was making. Then that they were very interesting. But indeed, there's something it's quite, how will I say, coincidental that the organization which I also work for, which is the ACP DICE, is in the same pursuit of, re-education, working together, and collective self-realization. There is something which I totally agree with the agenda which the Emergence is trying to do. It is so expedient for us because our continent is on siege. Having said that, there is the approach for which this particular occasion or for the for the objective the organization is looking forward to is where I don't want to characterize, but I would want to say the diaspora looking at funding projects back home is a good initiative. But the approach is that we should think of the people we are going back home to work together with as not to be people we are going to help, because we are not going to help them. Rather, we are going to work together with them. And reason is because many a times NGOs come with a mindset of our people are of, let's say, deprived, or our people are of to be helped. No, the problem we have back home is that the people here in the diaspora and the people back home do not understand and want to work together. That's it. So I think the first thing is we need a kind of re-education, because we need to understand the fact that some persons in the UK or in the US, let's say, for example, a professor of our brother in the US and a professor back home of agriculture, they probably don't understand themselves. So if you don't understand yourself properly, how is it possible to even bring things to fruitful? Or to, because there's something about understanding and working together. It builds trust. So for me and you to trust ourselves, first of all, we have to re-educate ourselves on what we're about to discuss. And then when we re-educate ourselves, me not seeing it that you're coming to help me, or me not seeing that you're coming to lecture me, in that way, we take away the guard for that, will I say, self-personality or trying to over-exaggerate what is the occasion for which we want to discuss. And if that is dealt with, that aspect of working together then surface. And when that working together comes surface, it means then we have been able to spot out the problem which we're about to address. So what I'm just saying is, it's also good. The approach is wonderful. The agenda is wonderful, but the approach for which that agenda would be achieved is where I feel we need to look into. Going home is not a debate. Whether we like it or not, it's getting to a point where we don't even have a say in the so-called home where we say we come from. And secondly, and the most funny thing is, even in the UK or US, where people are being shot like rats, we don't even have a say there. So going home is not a bargain. Whether you like it or yes, you have to go home. So, and that is something really I'm excited to, and I would like maybe after now, take contact with some of the responsibles, because the approach is really where I find and struggle with respect to maybe agriculture, entrepreneurship, or science and technology, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I just feel I'm excited with the platform, and also the time is now. I just feel I'm going to rest my case for now and then listen to other people who have questions to ask.
Okay, I think Professor wants to say something. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the question he's asking is very interesting and then well taken. I'm gonna go back with my experience, what is really happening. Yes, when I was working with my research, okay, just like what he said, international research institution was an ideal for Africans to help themselves. Most of the research, it was located at Ibadan, University of Ibadan, for example. Then most of us that are here, we did our own research when I was in graduate school. I communicated with them and I was working with them because that's what is required. So we get used to African product. But however, it's quite interesting what instability in government is doing. Recently, people have been calling me, say, when I publish tropical crops, these hybrids that develop with IITA, Ibadan, people were asking me, where do you get it? I said, what do you mean, where do you get it? He said, it's not in Nigeria. I said, no. Go back to, I will send you information where you're gonna get it, okay? I have to tap into my information this thing. I'm telling you, there this guy, Gabi Farm in Ibadan. There is this guy, African Farm in internet. Go there, you will find that product. But the problem they are facing is that most of our leaders are the ones that are grabbing the product meant for the farmers. That's where the problem is. But to address his problem further, because he was specific with, for example, we scientists in America or England, how do we communicate with the one in Nigeria? To be honest with you, this was what Peace Corps and Sabbatical was doing. Yes, I was lucky to get involved in that, okay? Sometimes we send our students here to go to Africa for Peace Corps, and then Sabbatical, professor goes there different invited for Sabbatical. But over time, the case of Nigeria became unique, that all those things were wiped out, that there is no means of communication between us. You know, I remember when some of graduate students at the University of Nigeria and Nsukka were asking me, Professor, can you help me analyze my data because we don't have computer here? Okay, I did those things. Okay, because I'm also good in statistics. They send their data, I analyze it and send them to finish off their dissertation or masters or something like that. But what he's saying is true. We have to create those links. It's not that it's difficult to create this. And there are these people in agriculture, I will speak to them, we call extension program. Yes, they are the people who can bridge that gap between the farmers and the researchers. Even in Nigeria, what he's saying is true. There is no communication between the scientists at the university and even the farmers that they're helping. There's no, because they don't have that extension gap filled. So this, we have to consider those things he's saying is very important, because if communication is not good, going from hierarchy head to the lowest person, everything we are doing here will be very hard to come by. But thank goodness, nowadays we have cellular phone, okay? That somebody in a village can type in and log into and see what is going on. But another problem for that is that they're gonna say, do they have a Wi-Fi? If they have Wi-Fi, how many minutes are they selling them? Those things is what we have to put together. But the question the speaker is asking is a good question, but I want you to know, those freeway, let me call it freeway, were connected before, but because of instability we have in most of Africa, they're all destabilized. Okay, maybe we can go back and start connecting those networks again with the information highway we have now. So that's what I have to say about it.
Yeah.
But there's hope.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you, Professor. To answer your question briefly, this is what this organization is all about. It's bridging that gap, pretty much. We're not helping people in Africa. We're not helping people in Nigeria. We're helping them to help us ourselves, because we're helping ourselves. It's collaboration. You know, one of the things I found out is I look at NGOs, I look at the money USAID and other foundations pump into Nigeria, and I still see the level of decay, the level of poverty. It's like we'll come in there to solve your problems and then make the problems compound. So what we're trying to do is to collaborate with the grassroots where we all work together. I'm not coming to help you. I'm not coming to feed you. I'm not coming to save you, but we are saving ourselves. We are partners. We are building a synergy together. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. We are working together to earn a living. That's what we are all about. That's what CIPD is doing. We're going to work with Professor to do this extension program. We're also working with Josie's establishment to also bring in and be able to bridge that gap between, create people who will mentor young entrepreneurs, bridge that gap and all that. So at this point, I'll let Josie, he has his hands up so he can speak to something. Josie, go ahead and mute yourself.
Yeah, okay, thanks a lot, Ifeanyi. Thanks a lot, Professor. Thanks a lot, Stephen. I know that there are various people with their hands up, so I'm going to be very brief. Stephen, yes, what you said is correct. Maybe I gave the impression during my my time or my speech that that it was we going to help them. But of course, it's been clarified by Professor and Ifeanyi that it is a collaboration. It is a partnership. Obviously, I just need to tell you, Stephen, and everybody else, NGO are not a good example for us. Because as Ifeanyi said it correctly, NGO, when they come with their own agenda. And one of the biggest agenda of the NGO is to destroy the local content. Remember, I have mentioned during my speech that it is crucial for us to build or help build the local content. Without local content, we are dead in the water. It is that simple. NGOs, I don't have one example, which went to any country in Africa, which did anything good. Because they go, think about it, they create the culture of dependency, they destroy, and they use that strategy of give the fish, don't teach you how to fish. So therefore people keep getting the fish, but they never learn how to fish themselves. And guess what? The day they pull the plug, they die of hunger because they're not able to do so. So yes, and just to touch on one thing else, just to wrap quickly, is the trust. We have the issue with the trust, and that trust is nothing to do necessarily with me being better or being worse. Is the fact that I've inherited that I cannot work with Nigerian, I cannot work with Ghanaian, or I am Yoruba, I cannot work with Igbo, or you don't trust Fulani, or don't trust this. This is built in us from school, from the church we go, from everywhere we go, and it is built in us. And it's causing us a big problem, not necessarily because of diaspora alone. Diaspora, of course, is a representation, is a part of the whole community. So, but the entire world of Africans, Black, got that issue. Should we get rid of it? Yes, we have to. So, Stephen, I think you hit it on the head, whereby we need to take those things very seriously. The issue of trust, and obviously we need to change the narrative. Well, I'm going to stop here because, of course, there are various people who got, and then we can move from there.